All right. So, anyways, I wanted to go ahead and do this video and talk about Zendaya and another sacrifice she made. As I'm learning more and more about this curse, I got made a sacrifice by her. Now, I'm going to preface this by saying that Zendaya went through what's called spiritual MK Ultra. She was placed, I saw a government building associated with 7172 Niagara Way in the astral plane in Los Angeles. They're trying to place government buildings in my consciousness. Whenever you see government buildings next to a person's consciousness, that means mind control in the astral plane. I don't give a fuck. These niggas can only do so much. With that being said, that motherfucker has had a blessed life. And I was shown by a spirit guide, and somebody on my spirit team was showing me, how she was connected to me in the astral plane with me being a sacrifice for her. From what I understand, she went through spiritual MK Ultra where she was raped as a little girl, but all that was in the spirit plane, it wasn't in the physical. From what I understand, the Illuminati, who's been trying to get into my consciousness lately, I've been kicking asses right on out, trying to energy harvest off of me, but also conversely pretend and act like they're trying to spiritually protect me. I don't want this spiritual protection. I don't want shit from them kikes, them weirdos. I don't want shit from them. With that being said, she's connected to all of this shit. All right, with that being said, because I'm going to have to do some spiritual work on my consciousness once I hang this up to dry. Zendaya is spiritual MK Ultra. She's spiritual MK Ultra. So she got a visit in the astral plane from the Occalas to make me a sacrifice for her. They said, hey, we know your blessings are going to stop, that you're going to become a street prostitute, a hoe working on the street. You're going to be all on drugs and all of that, which she is. She's a drug addict from what I saw. I was shown, from what I understand, she reached out to him in the physical plane. They're supposed to be well-known CIA operatives who also work as black magicians and warlocks in their spare time. And they get paid handsomely by a lot of people in Hollywood, aka Hollyweird, to steal other people's blessings, spiritual powers, and abilities. So Zendaya, via word of mouth, via what she saw in the astral plane, went to them. She saw what was coming up, that she was supposed to end up in the situation that I'm in. Tricking off Fig and all of that. And just imagine the bitch on Fig. And she decided to sign a soul contract with him. When they asked her, who do you want to sell? She said, oh, that weird girl on the PCH. One night, right before this curse started, when I was in jail, I actually heard her higher self say, let's go ahead and curse that weird girl. From what I understand, a lot of these motherfuckers are jealous because of the blessings that were supposed to be coming to me, along with my spiritual powers and abilities. They've been doing everything in their power, every which way, to undermine and destroy that. So with that being said, they agreed to it, to put me and my ancestors up as a sacrifice, and my family. That's why my poor daddy and my poor mother haven't been in their bodies. I had a very, very powerful, spirit guide, shaman confirmed this in their bodies for damn near 2 fucking years. Actually, for 1. That's why they've been stuck in roach motel hell realms throughout the duration of this curse. I saw that the other day when I saw my mother out of her body. And when I saw her spirit, her ghost, and she actually confirmed it for me. My mother has no consciousness now because of this fucking curse. My mother has no consciousness now because of this fucking curse. She came to me the other fucking night in the astral plane in a dream saying, hey, Raven, it showed me at hospital. It felt like Oxnard in Louisiana. And it showed her stuck there, begging me for help. My poor mother, along with my father, have come to me through astral visions, asking me for help to break free of this fucking realm. It hurts my heart. Meanwhile, what kills me the most is this nasty, half-bred ass, evil fucking bitch, this warlock bitch, thrives in Hollywood. That's her nasty ass family. Her mama was a former street prostitute, her daddy, old nasty ass nigga who presents as white in the astral plane. Because this infuriates me. We don't deserve this shit. Who's a producer from what I understand. They're trying to control what I say right now, man, and I'm trying my best to break free of that shit. With that being said, it's terrible what's happening to me and my family. It's terrible what's happening to me and my family. And how our consciousness is being broken down. Yes. Oh, I'm sorry about that. You have a nice night. All right, so with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and try to keep it down and keep it quiet because I don't want to get kicked out of this fucking place. This is evil, what me and my family have been going through. None of us deserve this. With that being said, I'm trying to recollect my memories because, like I say, they fucking with my consciousness right now really, really bad. And my memories very, very fucking bad. Oof. As I was saying before, hold on a second. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and say this right now. That's an evil ass bitch. She's very, very fucking wicked in the astral plane. As you can see right here, I'm not the only sacrifice. She actually sacrificed them 2 people, Angus Cloud was already having suicidal thoughts and all of that, probably because of the roach attachments that got put into me. Along with the other guy, I believe his name is Justin Tustin or something, Turin. He was another victim of her, and it was more direct. I actually saw spiritually that he had roach attachments placed in him that were fucking with his head, saying, I saw him in the astral plane saying to these things to himself, I want you gone, I want you out, I want you out. Like I said before, nobody, none of my ancestors, nobody on my spirit team, none of us consented to this shit. It was all made under fucking duress, trickery, non-consent. God, I'm just gonna say it right now, man. This is evil. My parents are sitting in fucking hell realms right now. A lot of my ancestors are. So this bitch, with the help of 3 other fucking evil people as well, can come up. As I say, this bitch is feeding off the blood of other people as blood sacrifices. Me and my family got made into blood sacrifices. I'm just going to say it for you right now. This is some evil ass motherfucking shit. There's times where I break down and fucking cry about my life situation because, some of my spirit guides even looked at my timelines and say, I'm not supposed to be here. My parents, who are good people, respectable people, man. It's not even about that. Good people. My dad would give you the shirt off his back. We don't deserve this shit. I'm just going to say it right now. God's an evil motherfucker to have set this up. Baron Samedi, I hate that nigga with a fucking passion. I'm going to drop his fucking docs. I swear up and fucking down because I hate him. I know his real name. So if you need to put that mayate in the fucking jar, I'll drop them docs because he set this shit all up. Simply because my family, simply because I got strong spiritual abilities and powers. And simply because my family, they're what he sees them as good black people, like respectable black people. They're not ignorant ass fucking niggers going around fucking doing criminal shit. Not that I look down on that. That's why he hated me. Part because my soul is white. I was. And in large part because I was a studious, intelligent kid. I was told that when he first placed this sacrifice curse on me, he put labels on my forehead. Calling me a hoe, a prostitute, and all of this, and wanting to condemn me to a life of that. And never rise up to be the intelligent, smart person that I am. Because that nigger hated me so much. I hate motherfuckers with that nigger mentality. When Spirit Tree was talking about the nigger man, she was actually referring to him. He's the nigger man. He's a nigger. I hate that motherfucker. Elegwa is cool. Yemeya, Oshun is cool. It's something about blacks and intelligence that rubs, I don't know what the fuck it is. He was the one that set it up so that this curse continues talking about, you got to defeat the Occalas to escape. You can't defeat them niggas. because of the roach attachments that they're working with. And God, Zeus, I saw in the astral plane him signing off on me being a sacrifice. Allowing for Zendaya to have my fucking blessings. This evil bitch who put me and my fucking good parents and my family and ancestors, my bloodline, my whole entire bloodline up as a sacrifice. By 3 evil ass people, a conspiracy of just evil ass fucking people and gods and spirits, man, is what I'm up against. This is evil. This is pure fucking fuck God, man. This is pure fucking evil. This is evil to put on some fucking body, man, who don't deserve it. I'm not no criminal. I'm not no fucking rapist. I don't go around, doing shit against people's consent. I don't deserve none of that. When I used to woke motherfuckers back in the day, it was under the control of him. Ethan Occalas, which I didn't know at the time. He had took a soul piece of mine from Baron Samedi and put his roach attachments in it to, from what I understand, create an undetectable, mind-controlled slave. Just like that book that Fritz Springmeier talked about. Talking about, I want her to be a prostitute. I want her parents to be prostitutes. He's got a weird preoccupation with that shit. None of us consented to this shit. And we're all good people mixed up in something that's nefarious and evil that's way beyond our pay grade to deal with because of evil, sadistic ass motherfucking people. This is just the most evil shit that you can do to somebody is harm and fuck up their consciousness. And do it to where they could die in their fucking sleep. So anyways, with that being said, these people even came to me in the spirit world. They came to me when I had an astral projection back in 2015 or 14. And I told them no. I say, no, I don't deal with no Illuminati shit. Get your shit out of here. Get the fuck out of here. I don't want nothing to do with that. I don't want my ancestors to be involved in none of that crazy ass blood sacrifice, child killing shit. Get that shit on. Get y'all weird asses on with that shit. I don't fuck with that. From what I understand, they part of my bloodline. That's why I'm getting sacrificed. On the Jewish grandmother side. Rothschild. I think. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to sound fucking... I don't know. Are they threatening to get rid of my baby self? My baby self? This is weird. This is crazy. I didn't ask for none of this. Now they're going to try. They're fucking with my consciousness. They're fraying it so that I sound schizophrenic. But I'm going to say this. I was shown by a spirit guide in the astral plane that her and a couple of other celebrities were connected to me and my ancestors in my bloodline as blood sacrifices, both in the spiritual as well as in the physical plane. Ever since this curse kicked off and started, they've been trying to kill me in my sleep. From what I understand, Zendaya was instantly given my blessings without my consent. Like I said, for something like this, man, you gotta call on the universe. Because this shit runs deep. You gotta call on the source. Many people who are atheists, who make it in Hollywood, like, what was that boy's name? His name is on the tip of my tongue. He's a Jew. And he don't believe in having kids. He's an atheist, But from what I heard in the spirit world, people like that, they're able to get ahead despite the demiurge. The demiurge is not the devil. It's the demiurge that's in charge of Hollywood. That's who they worship. That's who they make blood sacrifices to. God of duality. That's a deceptive motherfucker. From what I understand in people's consciousnesses, the God of light, the God of duality is supposed to be separate. But then again, we all have a higher self and a lower self. That's something else I experienced. So I'm trying to parse through that. But he is able to make it because he's under the source. When you're under the God of duality, you got to go through shit and go through all of this and all, and when you have strong spiritual powers, that motherfucker, when you see videos of motherfuckers getting gang stalked, it's because they have strong spiritual abilities and powers. I knew that way back when, before this particular curse hit. Like I say, to combat something like this, frequency is your key. You got to start using frequencies. 369 hertz. Nikola Tesla talked about it. Powerful frequency. They can't fuck with it. They can't run with it. They can't touch it. You can add some zeros on that motherfucker. They can't fuck with it. You got all sorts of symbols that if you're fighting God himself, like I'm going to have to do, that can help you out. But not all gods are the same, but there's one ultimate one. Like I say, the ones of different timelines, they all vary, and I've met like a lot in the roach room at least that were really, really nice. With that being said, I'm just going to spit it out right now. Let me try to get my thoughts together as much as possible, despite my frayed consciousness, my frayed memories. Zendaya is a very wicked bitch. I remember all throughout this curse when it first started being told, don't talk about her because if you do, your whole life is going to get fucked up by them spirits. Now, remember when I used to talk about a white girl from Louisiana who got sacrificed in her sleep? Her name is Rosie. Really, Ashley Hempstead from Destrehan, Louisiana, supposedly. She got cursed by the Occalas because supposedly, like these people, from what I understand, they work for the CIA, but they abuse their powers and their privilege. Like they start cursing people, random people on the street that they envy or they just don't like. Them and Nicholas Bearden for their spiritual abilities and powers and shit. They misuse their authority with the CIA. From what I used to talk about, I was told that, and I even saw in the astral plane, her ancestor signed a soul contract again, not involving me. And I'm supposed to be the target, the main character. Signed a soul contract, to basically take over my body. Now, remember how I used to talk about on August 22nd, 2022? Remember how I used to talk about how on August 22nd, 2022, I died in my sleep? That's what their spirits and all that kept saying. And I actually got confirmation in the form of the owner of a store telling me point blank the next day that I got a phone call from you through static that sounded exactly like you saying, please help me. I kept hearing robbing the grave and some. With that being said, robbing the grave, and some shit like that. With that being said, From what I'm understanding, that was actually Zendaya. She signed the soul contract with the Occalas after being visited by them in the astral plane. Wasn't my blessings, because she was actually supposed to end up in the position as me, homeless on the fucking streets, not necessarily under heavy curses, but with her shit fucked up. And I keep getting blocked by these roach attachments, by these sinister people, by God, to get my shit back. Just heard what sounded like one of them shushing entities. They actually dispatch, like when you see the men in black, the reason why they're all white is because just like an eraser, they white out your memories. They have entities that are designed to wipe out your memories when you see stuff in the astral plane they don't want you to see. It ain't just aliens that do that, it's the demiurge God himself. And they'll go, shh. Like I said, I'm at the lowest rung of the totem pole. I'm fucking homeless. I don't give a fuck. Just like they say, ain't nobody gonna listen to you because you're homeless. With that being said, like I said, at this point, when you're dealing with something like this, you can't get under God. You're gonna have to use frequency and become your own God. There's just no possible other way. And I'm gonna start teaching people more on that. So you're not relying upon God or somebody to save you when you're facing something like this, when you're being terrorized in your own mind, your own consciousness. Like I am in my own head. With that being said, she went to them to get a blessed life materially and to feed off of me and my ancestors so she could have a blessed life in the afterlife as well. While I pay for her karma, take on her curses, and end up in hell realms. All because I have that fucking Mayate, Baron Samedi, in my bloodline. I hate that nigga so fucking much. I think in a future video, I'm dropping them docs on him. I'm gonna drop them fucking docs. I knew of a guy who was being spiritually fucked with him and everything. I'm just gonna give him his information so he can lock his black ass in the fucking jar. Don't ever deal with Baron Samedi. Baron Samedi is evil. There's nothing good about him. Nothing at all. Don't work with him. Don't deal with him. Very evil motherfucker. With that being said, I got made. I'm just going to say it right now. I got made. Me and my family, my bloodline, we got made into a blood sacrifice so she could come up. Her higher self is Hekate. You know, I'm trying to remember as much as I can. All right, I wanted to say in the astral plane the other night, I saw by her consciousness and Timothy Chalamet's consciousness, I saw government buildings by their consciousness. So they're under some type of mind control, but it's really social engineering. I saw a Reba. Wait, hold on a second. I got a Reba weighing hamster. These things are fucking with me. So under them, I saw Total Recall, like that film, and there was something else that was involved. Entity attachment, recall, and sensory recall, meaning taking psychotropic medicines, drugs, all that shit that the government administers and uses to control your consciousness. So from what I understand, in the spirit plane, they set people up who are connected to this, who are, in it or whatever, to be energy harvested off of by celebrities. And I was told that Charlemagne, they call him Charlemagne in the astral plane, along with Zendaya, went in there when my number was up to go and collect me. But from what I understand, it's an extension of them being under MK Ultra. But anyways, because I know I don't have a government building by my consciousness. They tried to set it up in the astral plane, but I'm too much of a free spirit connected to light. They can't fuck with me like that. Got the God of Source looking out to some degree, but there's so much trickery in my consciousness, it's not even funny. Like right now as I talk, I see a black fucking cat. That's never good. The Occalas rule my consciousness. They're entity attachments. I know this. They're trying to put that CIA bullshit on me, but it's they got it by having, bashing the higher self and signing the soul contract. With that being said, from there, this is fucking weird. Like, I talk about motherboards and I talk about with that being said, as I said before, we all have motherboards that we're connected to in the astral plane that has your consciousness, your ancestors, all that. They're fucking with me right now on some shit. I noticed that there was a lot. I remember at one point, seeing her in that motherboard. Okay, this is what I want to talk about. All right. One day in my apartment, they were fucking with my consciousness where I can talk about it. And I remember the whole Ashley Hempstead thing. I was about to be sacrificed one night. And next thing I know, now they kept using a roach attachment, entity attachment, to represent the girl who supposedly died in her sleep from Destrehan, Louisiana. Her name is Rosie. All throughout the curse, like I say before, I kept hearing the name Zendaya, Zendaya, Zendaya. So next thing I know, I say something that makes the connection between Zendaya and the Rosie entity attachment. Like I said, at the start of this curse, I actually heard her higher self, talk about, let's put a curse on her or something. I'm trying to remember exactly what this entity attachment's name is, what her higher self's name is. You know, let me try to see. Go ahead and redo this part again. To make a long story short, at the beginning of this curse, I remember seeing and hearing a young lady, and I checked in the astral plane what her name is, and I saw Laura Young. And I saw, I was, to make a long story short, from what I'm understanding, I'm just trying to refresh my memory here. Hekate is Zendaya's higher self. Now, the reason why I'm bringing up that is because the Occalas, made a pact with each other to keep me as close to death in the astral plane as possible. I'm down literally to my soul consciousness. And do that as well as disenfranchise my ancestors and my family in the astral realm as well, so that I can never get back my blessings. And I can never defeat the curse so that these already rich, greedy people can be enabled by what I got, what's supposed to be mine. And these things got energy vampires on me really, really fucking bad. Like, really fucking bad in my consciousness. I'm on the verge of getting rid of a lot of these things and removing them from my consciousness so I no longer have to deal with them. But anyways, with that being said, not looking back on it, I was mistaken about the higher self, but there was a little bit of truth to it. They had a higher self, an entity attachment. I don't think that's the case now that I know what I know, that was connected to Zendaya. They actually, these people as part of this curse are actually notorious for getting into your astral bloodline, for doing something where they, like at one point, a very, very powerful guru actually found the soul consciousness of one of them evil motherfuckers. As a matter of fact, 3 of them locked into mine. They mix their higher selves or their soul essence with your higher self to energy vampire off of you and fuck up your consciousness. Like I say, this is some evil ass shit. Now, anyways, a couple of weeks ago, my ancestors were working on emancipating me from this curse. So I've been getting rid of all sorts of troublesome entities, spirit guides, soul contracts to help get this evil shit off of me. So anyways, with that being said, like I said before, we're all connected to mother boards in the astral plane. And they found no, I hate these fucking roach attachments, man, because they send in shit to fuck with my consciousness right now as I talk. Anyways, I looked into the motherboard, and I kept hearing about them doing something where they planned on soul swapping, like swapping out my soul matrix with her. So, anyways, on my motherboard, I found her soul matrix in place of where my soul matrix should be. Like I said, what I'm dealing with is some MK Ultra type of shit. Like they're trying to induct me into some weird ass government experiment type shit. And I ain't got the fucking time for it. And that's one thing about these roach attachments I'm dealing with. They like to mix out your consciousness with other people, mix your memories with other people. That shit's scary. Move your consciousness around to the point where you don't know yourself anymore. You look in the mirror and you're like, who is that? This is dangerous. What I'm dealing with is extremely fucking dangerous. With that being said, I'm starting to put the pieces of the puzzle together. You know, it's one of these things where, you know, you say what you gotta say and you know, just fuck it. Try to think of what I need to say.